Hello everyone, welcome to the market outlook for the week. Gaurang Shah here from Geojit Financial Services, and as we begin the new trading week this Monday morning, markets are down and out. The continued selling pressure that what we've seen over the last couple of days and weeks. To give you some levels on the markets, well, Sensex is trading at about 59,135, down about 314 points. Nifty is at about 17,360, 105 points downside on the Nifty spot. Nifty Bank is the only one that is in the green. Gains of about 100 odd points, and the levels are 40,010 on Nifty Bank. Rupee dollar and crude oil. Rupee is weak, trading at about 82.92 rupees to a dollar, down about weakness of about 17 odd points, 17 paise. And NYMEX and Brent, they are also down. Brent is at about $82.85 per barrel, and NYMEX is at about $76.05 to a barrel. There has been a downward move as far as crude oil prices are also concerned. So after the initial uptick that we saw and a new all-time high in the first week of December 2022, from there on there has been a long drawn consolidation period on the markets with a negative bias, of course. Uh, Events have unfolded both locally and globally. And today, in fact, on the Nifty spot, we breached the lows that we saw on the budget day. And then, of course, there has been a little bit of recovery of some points. What is missing in the markets? Well, fresh buying interest, both from local investors and global investors. As far as news flows are concerned, there is an overhang on the markets. Geopolitical situation playing a spoil sport on the markets. Uh, News flows in terms of positivity is lacking, and that's what is keeping large investors on the sideline. And of course, a little bit of futuristic news flow that unfolded as far as the outlook of monsoon is concerned. There is a fear of El Nino impact on the monsoons, and a little bit of lower side numbers as far as the normal averages are concerned. Now, if things are what it is, and if monsoon has to be lower than what estimates are, then that would possibly bring in food inflation pressure, and eventually that will spike the overall inflation. So that's the concern over there. And of course, earnings might also get impacted because of inflationary pressures. Spending might be on the lower side. So you have sectors like FMCG, consumer durable, autos, which may have a little bit of concern on the earnings front, just in case if the impact of El Nino on the monsoon is on the higher side. But at early days, let me say this: expectation of changes in the weather may possibly lower the impact of El Nino, and even if we get close to normal or slight deficit, then things may not be as bad as they are looking out to be right now. Uh, our sense is that from the highs, the all-time highs in first week of December 2022, we have seen a considerable downside. Levels have been broken in terms of what one had estimated would act as support, and just because of this peer pressure from no significant buying coming in, there is possibility of some more lower levels to be seen. But where we are trading, friends, on the Sensex and Nifty, if you are a long-term investor, then our sense is that it is time to possibly, bring in a little bit of confidence in your investments and cherry pick some fundamentally sound companies with great management. These are difficult times, but I think we will sail through this. Along with this, friends, this year 2023 is going to see multiple elections in different states and union territories. Outcome of those elections will have its impact on the market. So And of course, then next year you have the big election. So I think in terms of estimates uh, on the markets, on the index, if you will, there could be flat to positive return is what we are estimating. Of course, if things change, then these estimates will also change. But more importantly, I think there is tremendous amount of opportunity in sector specific and stock specific investment idea, wherein we feel that if you are able to identify those opportunities, then you may tend to beat the performance of Sensex and Nifty index performance, and possibly a little bit of better return is what you can get. But given the headwinds, given the news flows, given the events which are lined up in the future, I think having a 1 year time horizon may not be justified. Uh, Keep a little bit of longish time horizon. 1.5 to 2 years is what we are now advising long-term investors to have in mind. And don't go all out and invest all your money at one time. Disciplined and staggered investment is something that has always rewarded long-term investors in Indian equity markets. Like always, we give a couple of investment ideas from a long-term point of view on the fundamental, and this time around we have two investment ideas. One is from the hospitality stroke hotels, if you will. And I was just listening into the management a while back. They have lined up a couple of new openings, new hotel openings for the next 2 to 3 years. Indian Hotels is the stock that we are talking about. Both leisure as well as business travel is picking up, realizations are going up. And with new properties coming up for Indian hotels, I think occupancy is going to ring in better earnings visibility. So, for the first investment idea is Indian hotels from the hospitality stroke hotels sector. And the second one is from the power generation. Well, come summer and there has been elevated levels of power demand. Even in the month of winter that we've seen, there was elevated demand for power. And the government policies are likely to have its positive impact on power generating companies. And this one is PSU, NTPC, one of the largest power generating companies in India. And they have also mentioned about venturing into conventional power generation, solar, wind, etc., etc. Uh, our estimates are that on fallback of power demand, realizations are going to improve. So we believe that if you have a long-term time horizon, then from power generation sector, NTPC is one stock that you could possibly look at. Though it has been, a sideways to a little bit of neutral performer. With the changes in policies and the demand coming up, our expectation is that the earnings is also likely to improve, which may possibly result in revision of target prices upwards. So, two investment ideas: Indian hotels and NTPC. Thank you very much for your patience hearing, and I'll see you again next week. Till then, take care. Bye bye.